Does Disney World serve the Keys?
Princess Bear here today. We're at Disney's old Key West Resort because it's time to eat.
We're going to Olivia's Cafe for dinner.
This is one of the oldest restaurants on the Walt Disney World property. We're here to try the menu, so you don't have to. So she's vegan. I'm not. She's gonna leave me here.
It's time to foodie and chill. We have the beautiful Chef Mike allergy-friendly bread. And I say beautiful in jest because, you know, Chef Mike doesn't always work out for us. However, I do love me some Earth Balance. So I will sacrifice some Chef Mike bread for some Earth Balance. Be cool if they zhuzh it up. I keep thinking about, where are we? Bear and I recently did a review at Boat Rides, and they did like a chimichurri butter, and I can't stop thinking about that, even though didn't eat their butter. This one was lightly microwaved, so it's not like too like chewy or tough. It's like a nice light consistency, and that's really what you need with the allergy rolls. They need to be not extremely piping hot and also not cold. They need to be somewhere where it's like slightly cold in the middle so that they retain their moisture. And this one has certainly done that. And then with the Earth Balance, it's just gorge. I wish that they would flavor the butter for every resort. Like a key lime Earth Balance would be so cool. I swear that chimichurri from Boat Rides has inspired me now. So like I really just want to season all of my butter. Again, love that piece. But it's just regular bread, right? So I'm just going to give this a 2.5 out of 5 breads. It gives good bread. I'm enjoying the bread. It did a good microwave. But my mind is still in Boat Rides. And I guess it's not a good thing.
I tried this bread in solidarity with our gluten-free brethren to bring light to the fact that I feel like you could do much better by them. There are other breads and flours that you could use to make gluten-free rolls. We've had much better gluten-free rolls on property, and I feel like you're short-staffing my gluten-free brothers and sisters today and then in them, and for them, we keep trying these and pleading some very inventive chef with much skill, which is to say all of them, to do better than this. Easily one of the better examples of the gluten-free allergy rolls. This one isn't rock hard, still soft enough to chew very easily. The Earth Balance does help. It's a 2.75 out of 5 clauses, but I know that there's some chef out there can do a 4 very easily. Do the thing. Here we have the pineapple coconut bread, because you keep the eye on the coconut. It smells like straight coconut. It never really ever smells like pineapple, but this is one of the staples of this restaurant. The nice whipped butter on the back end. Nice pull-apart bread. Don't get me wrong. I do like the pineapple coconut bread. But that initial like wave of coconut is way too much. After you get past that, it's great. But like that first initial bite, my brain like resets a little bit. I don't love coconut. The bread is excellent, nice and fluffy. Nice powdery texture on the outside. And the butter is good. I would give that a 3.75 out of 5 plus.
All I have to say is, holy salad Batman. This salad is so freaking huge. This is an appetizer, but it could easily be an entree. We have some oranges. We have some beautiful quinoa in here. A nice piece of avocado that looks fresh. It's not wilted in any way. Some edamame pieces. And Mandarin oranges with a key lime dressing. I'm excited about this. I think I've had the salad here like a while ago, but not this one because it's changed. And this one has oranges from Living with the Land on it. Cheers. Thankfully, I just spilled it in my bowl and not on myself. That is extremely key lime forward. It's giving me everything that you would expect from something that has key lime dressing. Sometimes the avocado can be a little detracting. It's really not in this case. I love the peas. I love the oranges. I have no notes. It's actually a really good salad. I would give it a 4 out of 5 salads. It tosses my salad.
There are those of you amongst the Disney community that think that for some reason salads aren't worth your time. You go straight to like the big ticket items, steak, fried chicken, all the rest of that. If you don't like salad, I would go so far as to say, and this is going to be the hottest of hot takes, and mind you, I've lived most of my life as a Floridian. If you don't like salad, you haven't been hungover enough, and I'm not explaining that. You either know or you don't know. So, salad and me, we go back a long ways. Even like before I had the nickname Bear, and that is my actual nickname. That is delicious. The key lime vinaigrette is vinegary, but it has that tart of the key lime that goes very well on like the earthiness of like the different greens, and then the avocado gives it like this nice creaminess. That's a top tier salad. And good salads are hard to come by. I would give that a 4 out of 5 claws. I would definitely get that as an entree. If I could order this, a gurgling suitcase, I would do that all the time. Like legitimately. There are those of you who come here that have never experienced Key West. You might be tempted to get like what the Key West staples would be. Conch fritters, shrimp and grits. Maybe you get the buttermilk fried chicken. All things native to like Key West. That's fine. I've spent most of my life in Florida, born in the Keys. I'm also a child of Georgia, and I love a good hush puppy. They have hush puppies here that you can get that come with this beautiful honey butter, like a little cinnamon honey butter, and these nice round hush puppies. Delicious break. They look amazing, nice and golden, as they should be. We're going to do the honey butter first, and then I have a surprise. That is an excellent textbook hush puppy. Nice and crisp outside, soft inside. They did not hold in the grease. They rested well, so you get a nice crisp hush puppy. It's a nice little piece of fried bread, but it works so well. The honey butter complements it perfectly. I would give that a 4 out of 5 claws. Now, one of my favorite things here at this resort is their key lime mustard. Now, this normally comes with the conch fritters, but if I could buy this by the jug here, I would. So, hush puppies, key lime mustard. Oh, yes. I'm glad that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out soon, because this is the way. Honey butter is nice, but the key lime mustard hush puppies is perfection. 4.75 out of 5 claws. Definitely ask for a side of the key lime mustard. I don't care what you're getting. It's good on everything.
The traditional vegan option available here at Olivia's Cafe is a mango tofu curry. Now, I have had the chef that actually created that dish originally made it for us as like a tofu curry. Didn't have any mango in it. Then the next 2 times after we came to Olivia's, it was added onto the menu and it was with mango. Now, also, the last 2 times that we came for dinner, I have gotten that specific dish with the mango. So this time that we came, I wanted to get something else. I was in the mood for a burger, and their alternative option, their off-menu vegan option is an Impossible Burger. This is because next door at Goods Food to Go, they do have an Impossible Burger over there and a wrap. So a lot of the ingredients that you see here, like the key lime vinaigrette on the salad, that's part of the wrap. And then they have the Impossible Burger. So very easy to get an Impossible Burger. They gave me beautiful onions, a lovely little tomato. We got romaine lettuce, a whole half of an avocado with pepper on it, house-made pickles, and then Chef made a special spicy ketchup because I wanted to do like a unique sauce on it because nobody wants like a dry burger, but like the vinaigrette, not the vinaigrette is too vinegary for the burger, so I can't do that. And then the key lime mustard is not vegan, so I cannot do that either. So Chef made me this, and I'm super excited. The only thing I want to do though is like kind of just, I don't know where my knife went, but I'm just gonna use my fork and just smash this avocado down a little bit. I feel like it just needs a little smooshing. All right. I'm really excited for this, even though I have to unhinge my jaw and become a scary snake to eat it. Well, surprisingly, it just tastes like an Impossible burger. Even with all those fixes, the Impossible flavoring just kind of shines through in it. I think I need to put more of that spicy ketchup. I didn't get any spiciness in there, and I've been eating that ketchup on the side, and she is spicy. There is sriracha in it, which I love. When I lived in California, there was a short period of my life where I was a server, and I kind of did like a few little hoppings around. Let's just say I think when I was like 18, 19, I had to have been 18. Or maybe I was 17. I think I was 17. I worked at a restaurant called the Harbor House Cafe. There's one in Dana Point and there's one in Seal Beach. I worked at the one in Dana Point. When I worked there, it was like, it was kind of like a Cheesecake Factory type restaurant. They had everything, but they were mostly like a burger joint. They were open late, so like 2 a.m. I worked the, was it like the graveyard? I worked like 10 to 2, basically, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. During that time, the chefs there made me all these different creations and like taught me all these amazing things about food. The one thing they did there that has carried me throughout my entire life since then was spicy ketchup. So spicy ketchup for me back then was Cholula with regular ketchup, and you would just mix the two up. This is sriracha, so it's not exactly the same flavoring, but it still gives me those same like nostalgia vibes of when I worked at Harbor House and had spicy ketchup all the time with their like basic frozen French fries. Is it old Key West? I have no idea. I've never been to Key West, but is it giving me Harbor House Dana Point? Absolutely. I would give it a 4 out of 5 burgers. There's really nothing wrong with this burger. It is a middle of a run. I love the ketchup. I have no notes. I don't know. I feel like the patty needs to be a little bit thicker, and maybe a cheese. A cheese would be good.
As the resident Floridian expert of this channel, I don't really know if I can say whether or not burgers are a staple of Key West. I was born in Key West, but truthfully, I only lived there for a year. I come from a military family, so we lived all over the place, but my upbringing is very, very, very much Florida. I've lived in Florida for enough decades now to have secured my Floridian heritage. But what is Floridian is definitely this restaurant. I know that people come here and it's like, okay, you eat in this weird little small room, but very much because it's like one of the oldest Disney resorts like they used to do in days old, this entire restaurant has a backstory, which is what Olivia is. It stands for Olivia Farnsworth. Used to serve guests out of her house and sort of converted her house into a cafe. If you've ever been to Key West, it's very much old houses converted to restaurants. But this is very much on brand for Key West, no matter what you're eating. So in that regard, this makes a whole lot of sense, burger or not. But even with this is a thicken. What the chef has done here with the massive amount of pickles, which to me is the bare amount of pickles. I don't want 2 pickles. I don't want 3 pickles. I want a pickle mountain. Avocado, the spicy ketchup. I am actually a little jealous. Burger King wishes this Impossible Whopper was that good. I love the contrasts of the house-made pickles and the house-made spicy ketchup. The sriracha, while different, definitely adds a little character to it. Something a lot more unique when you get with just like your off-the-shelf plant-based burger. This should be on the menu. We love off-the-menu items. We love secret hidden gems and menu items that we didn't discover along with you guys. What we feel for a lot of people that come here that, don't have a plan, they want to see the things they have options for on the menu. This is awesome. And the chefs delight in making things that delight and sort of give you a little bit of whimsy. This is a whimsical burger. And I like this. This is 4.25 out of 5 claws. There are a lot of plant-based burgers on the property, but this little mini creation, I approve. Shrimp and grits, Floridian style. Have these smothered grits with the shrimp and andouille sausage, the sauce all on top. More shrimp and sausage than grits, as it should be. I don't want grits with a little bit of shrimp and andouille sausage in the middle. I want grits smothered in shrimp and sausage, and that is exactly what you have here. I usually tend to avoid shrimp and grits at most places we go, mainly because I'm extremely judgy about this food. If it's bad, you will make the list. If you don't know what the list is, just ask ABC Commissary what the list is, because they still hold the title. That is a very nice display of foodie excellence. The shrimp is excellently cooked, nice and soft. Cooked all the way through, but not rubbery. A little spice to it. The andouille sausage is giving that spice to the dish, and it's sitting on top of both creamy and thick grits, not just plain grits. They're getting a well-seasoned grit with sauce on top of the andouille sausage and the shrimp. That is excellent. Now, if you happen to be pescatarian, they can modify this dish to remove the andouille sausage and give you a plant-based sausage in its place, so that you're not feeling like you're missing anything out. For pescatarians, you do have that option. Either way, this is an excellent showing, and I would say above average for what I expected. I was thinking it was going to be middle of the road. I would say it's slightly above average. I would give this a 3.75 out of 5 claws. For a friend that was craving some shrimp and grits, I can recommend this without feeling too bad.
We have your typical Disney shoestring fry, and I gotta dip it in the beautiful spicy ketchup because this is the star of the day. Looks like this is a terrible thing to say, but this fry in this specific configuration reminds me of the legs of the crab slider that Bear got at Festival of the Arts. It was terrible to watch, but now I'm eating the vegan version. Ugh, I feel worse now. Even though I'm crab leg traumatized, it does not detract from the deliciousness of the spicy ketchup and the beautifully seasoned fry. This is delightful and great after a extremely stressful day. So I'm excited to be off work and be here and enjoying this beautiful fry and this beautiful burger. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 fry. It is, I would say it's a little bit elevated over your standard Disney shoestring fry.
Disney fries, we have a long history with each other. I judge you immensely. You failed the fry test. I hope you guys realize the suffering the princess to go through when we do festival videos. As you just watch me eat the most odd things for the sake of the community. I like them, but obviously she doesn't want to see me eat little leggies hanging off the side of a burger. And I gotta admit, this does look like the soft shell crab slider, even with the little random stickies hanging off the side. Do a little spicy ketchup. I believe to help make up for her foodie-based trauma that you owe her all a like and a comment. And if you're not subscribed, you need to be here to watch the horror firsthand. I can't tell you how many different versions of the princess's spicy ketchup we've been subjected to at home. Anytime we've made anything that's even burger adjacent. We made our own black bean burgers. We've made our own alt meat burgers from scratch for the reason Beyond, Impossible, Legendary, all these random brands we picked up at the grocery store. She is not having fries and a burger without spicy ketchup. It's a requirement. More required than the bun. She would sooner eat a lettuce wrap burger with no bun and not have spicy ketchup than go without. I would give this a 3.5 out of 5 claws, but most of that is the spicy ketchup.
The month of melanin magic is upon us very, very soon. And therefore, I am starting my House of Brown parade a little bit early. Started at boat rides. Again, I guess I'm obsessing over boat rides. But House of Brown Rosé is vegan, gluten-free, black-owned, woman-owned business, and the most beautiful art on their bottles. If you can get yourself a bottle of their rosé, you will not be disappointed. So cheers to the House of Brown. Light, crisp, wonderful. I have no notes. It is literally the mascot rosé of this channel. I cannot order this wine enough. And when we're off camera and I want wine, this is the wine that I order. 5 out of 5. Princess City's item. Serve everyone and get this beautiful wine.
On a long enough timeline, I always return to my favorites. The smoked turkey, for the longest time, my signature drink, if I ever had one. Over the years, it's become lesser than it used to be, and I've tried to replace it with like whiskey sours, the bee's knees, Animal Kingdom Lodge, but it doesn't really seem to be a drink that I can get everywhere that's been equal enough to replace the heights of where the smoked turkey used to be. So every now and again, I get curious. Well, let me try it. Maybe it's gotten better again. Too much liquid smoke. Smoky. The lemonade's still good. I always like the cherries. I miss the super strong, knock me in my butt smoked turkeys of old. But alas, like many things pre-pandemic, I'll probably never see those drinks ever again. It's okay. It's not terrible. I've had much worse for like pool bar drinks because this menu here is basically the pool bar menu for beverages. It's the same stuff you can get at Gurgling Suitcase. You can get here for the most part. I would give this a 3 out of 5 claws. It's a beverage I will drink, but it always makes you sad.
Our friend, the vegan, gluten-free, chocolate fudge top 9 allergies safe brownie is that we can get at Beach Club, Yacht Club, Saratoga, and here is available here as an actual dessert option. And the reason why I like ordering it here is because they zhuzh it up. Now, this is actually the closest thing that you're going to get to the flamingo cake that we used to have at the Mara, because these little like toppings on the brownie are exactly like what we used to have on the flamingo cake back in the day. The only difference is this one isn't spiced. It's just a super fudgy cake. So I'm going to grab some of these little thingies that are from the flamingo cake. I'm going to grab some brownie, some sauce, and let's just have a plussed up allergy-friendly brownie that is absolutely delicious. I have had many iterations of this brownie. There have been times when we were at Boma, I think, and they served like a version of this. I guess no, that was a flamingo cake. No, I think this is the only place where I've ever gotten this brownie served to me on a plate with fixins. I feel like there was one other time where I got this brownie in particular served to me on a plate with fixins, but I cannot remember where it was. What? Huh? Was it Cape May? Cape May for dinner? Oh, that would make sense because it's Beach Club and they have it there. Yeah. So the last time we did Cape May dinner, which was like 3 years ago, I want to say, and like it is not an accurate review. We need to go back. I did get that there. So then I guess this is the second time that I've had this brownie at a table service restaurant where they zhuzh it up for you, and I like it. I will say it's a little sweet. It's a little bit on the sweet side. When I had the sauce, it almost was like a toothache type sweet. I don't have cavities. It was just like that sweet. I like it. I wish that they would put this like little topping on there, like in the ones that you can get the grab and go. I don't know so much about the sauce though, but I do love these little like, I don't know what they are. I want to say they're dried fruit, but I know they're not. But like, this is what made the flamingo cake a thing for me. So that is mostly why I love this. I enjoyed this dessert. I will give it a 4 out of 5 desserts, and I hope some of my ramblings made sense.
I love a good brownie / cake / chocolate anything, especially when you include strawberries or fruit on the plate. Sucker for that. Now, even though I'm not a big dessert person, there are certain things that I have a weakness for, and brownie adjacent things, that'll do it for me. I am not going to steal the princess's strawberry. Though tempted, I'm going to take one of these blueberries here on the backside instead. Nice chocolate, the hard candy on top, the nice little texture difference. Doesn't bother you, but it adds a bit to it. It definitely feels like, we have this and we made something of it. But I like the thought of it. At least it still feels like a complete dessert. And to me, it's still very shareable if you want something light. I would give it 3.75 out of 5 plus. Olivia's continues to be slightly overlooked. That's a lot of its own fault, but it's still a solid restaurant.
I would say that it has had its ups and downs. Our first time that we came here ever was, I want to say brunch, and I had a Beyond Burger here. So now to have an Impossible Burger here and to see it plussed up is amazing. And also, huge shout out to Chef for giving me like pickle on pickle on pickle. I don't think I've ever had a burger with so many pickles. And since they're house made and delicious, I could have had more. It did make my bun a little soggy, but it was like one of those soggies where it was just like happy to have it. Yes.
Worth it. I definitely think, though, it's time for Olivia to go through like a major menu refresh.
I agree.
The staples I expect to stay, but it's time for like some of the other things to change and get sort of like plussed up, if you will.
Yes.
And I think they really need their own drink menu. I think they can do better than just the pool bar leftovers.
Or like the standard hotel drinks that you get at literally any Disney resort. Like Bear's drink, you can literally get at any Disney resort. And my wine, you can get at most Disney resorts.
Yeah.
So
I definitely feel like Olivia's has become like a go-to spot for brunch, but dinner is still sort of like an afterthought. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you consider Olivia's at all, or is this just mainly a brunch spot for you? Let us know in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you can see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell and see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, I think Bear will just yeet himself into the keys? I don't know.
I'm going home.
Keys? Maybe not the keys. Maybe here.
No, you messed up.
Maybe
I'm going home.
Live here now.
You messed up. I'm going home.
Wait,
Bye.
no, you're supposed to be a water bear.
Bye.
You're a water bear.
You heard the girl.